Pacers, and they're doing business on the road. It's an interconference NBA matchup. Welcome, everybody. Kevin Harlan here with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr and the rest of our terrific 2K crew. Glad you decided to spend your Thursday night with us. Earlier in the season, Indiana ended up losing their last game in this matchup against the Mavericks. Here's the starting group for the Indiana Pacers. Preston Hibbert up front. George Hill out there with Lance Stevenson. And it's George in at the 3. And for Dallas, Dirk and Koeman, they're inside. And it's Mayo. And it's James in at the point guard.
And Rick Carlisle, head coach of the Mavericks, actually coached previously in Detroit and Indiana. And, you know, he won the Coach of the Year in his very first season.
Oh, look out! Hey!
Man, finishing with flavor.
Yeah, he put something extra on that one. You're right.
And the bench going wild, guys. They love it. What an amazing dunk. How about Paul George? Since he got into the NBA, he's grown a couple of inches. He's now 6'10". And as a swingman, that's just great size. He's a phenomenal athlete. Can guard pretty much anybody on the court.
Darren Collison is checked in for Vince Carter. First quarter, just over a minute played. Back to Hibbert. Another shot. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Pretty bad defense, letting the offense get right to the rim, but a smart play to foul once he was there.
But you know what's going to happen, and they sent a message right there. Nothing easy inside.
And George drops them both. And Paul George taken with the 11th pick in the 2010 NBA draft. Clark, if you look back at that class, do you think if they did it, he'd go higher?
I don't know if he would or not, but I'm certainly glad he fell where he did to number 10 and for the Indiana Pacers, because I think he's got a chance to be a star at both ends of the floor. It's a matter of commitment to the extra work and keeping his feet on the ground, staying humble and hungry. If he does that, the kid's got a chance to be a special player.
Here's West. Second chance shot. And George finishes inside. George has got 6.
And we see him get so many points that way because the effort is there constantly on the offensive glass.
Here's Nowitzki. It's rebounded by West. Well, it was the Dallas Mavericks in their last game, a loss to the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, every guy on the team could have done more in that game. I believe that. But instead, there was a lot of standing around and bad ball movement.
That's exactly right, Steve. I mean, there was plenty of blame to go around. For the coaching staff, too, they got to be included. They needed to do something to shake things up, but just stood pat. So everybody shares in the blame on this one.
Indiana leading. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
Yeah, and in that game, Kevin, I thought they shared the ball, they spread the floor, they shot it well. They were just so efficient offensively.
You're all over it, Steve. Everything you said is right on point. The way they moved the ball, they created so many high percentage shots.
His offensive game is so refined, guys, extremely well developed in just about every aspect. You know, guys, one of the reasons Dallas did not re-sign Tyson Chandler last year was they wanted to preserve some cap space. And they had Dwight Howard in mind, but Dallas has had to use their cap space elsewhere. You know, the key was just developing enough flexibility to give them a lot of different options, and I think that's always a factor for any NBA team.
Free throw drop for Kaman. Dallas, to me, Steve, always seems a team very mindful of upcoming free agents and cap space restrictions. One of the reasons why they made the moves last year. Even if, Clark, they don't get a big name, they always seem to be in the mix somewhere.
Well, they're always hovering around, and I think it points to the savvy of the front office there, Kevin. I mean, and that's really what allows teams to be competitive over long periods of time. It's not just about the players you have and their talent, but it's how you acquire players and piece together your team.
They're very forward-thinking, right?
Yeah.
The pass to Nowitzki. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it. Let's send it out to Doris Burke, who caught up with head coach Rick Carlisle. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, he's certainly mindful of the shot-blocking presence they'll run up against inside, but he doesn't want them shying away offensively. If anything, he said, we've got to be aggressive but also patient. If we can be deceptive in the way we attack, and there are ways to do that, we can be successful inside. Guys, let's see how successful they can be.
And Doris, as always, thank you. So, Steve, you agree with Coach's game plan here, given how tough the D is that they're going to go up against?
Yeah, I do. I mean, a huge part of your game plan has to be focused on their D. And I think he's right to put that much emphasis on it.
Yeah, I agree with you guys because they are that good defensively. So you've got to worry about that and game plan for that. And then trust that your guys will execute what needs to be done. You know, George Hill almost has the perfect basketball body. He's long, lean, a nice two-way player at 6'2", a combo guard, more scorer than playmaker. So what I really like about him is he can defend either guard spot, and on occasion can defend small forwards too.
I think Greg Popovich liked that about him in San Antonio. There's the feed to Mahinmi. It's blocked, and that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. 12 seconds. As we get a break in the action now, let's take a look at the East and how the teams are stacking up. Taking a look at Miami and checking out Indiana. Tied up with them. Elton Brand's checked in for Dallas. And a change for the Pacers. Green, he's checked in for Paul George. Hansbrough puts it up. Takes it up for the stuff.
There he goes again, that lower body root canal, clearing out space under the offensive glass.
Yeah, that is an area he absolutely excels in. Dentistry or not.
Is he Novocaine for that?
Speaking of George Hill, you mentioned his ability to guard shooting guards. His 6'9" arm span of his doesn't hurt. Steve, he takes up a lot of area.
Yeah, great athleticism. Kevin, a guy who can knock down the three-point shot, but also defend multiple positions. And, playing for Greg Popovich his first 3 years in the league with the Spurs, he obviously learned an awful lot at the defensive end of the field.
And then Brand with the dunk.
Too little, too late from the D. Give him credit for trying anyway.
Great job he did getting through him and up to the rim.
Yeah, now that was aggressive. That's exactly what I like to see.
And that'll be Indiana as it goes out of bounds. Pacers retain possession. And the Mavericks making a change here. Morrow's checked in. Indiana also making some changes. Roy Hibbert's checked in for Mahinmi. West comes in for Tyler Hansbrough. And DJ Augustine subbed in for George Hill.
Both these teams really fighting hard here. This is an impressive matchup.
Yeah, not much separation able to be created either way, and I really marvel at the effort being expended by both of these teams.
At the end of one, both teams putting up some points. Pacer Mavericks. And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Pacers?
And I thought they built this lead mainly because of their work on the glass. They really dominated the rebounding total.
And it takes an effort from all 5 guys to get a rebounding advantage like that. Everybody has to rebound the ball. That's how you finish off your defense.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the court for Indiana. Preston Hibbert up front. And Stevenson is out there with DJ Augustine. And it's Green in at small forward. Chris Kaman is checked in for Brandon Wright.
You know, the Pacers as a franchise had a slow start when they joined the NBA in the mid-'70s, but from the 90s until today, Kevin, they've been a pretty consistent presence in the playoffs.
Tries it from 19. Hit his foot. And the official saying it was kicked. Darren Collison, he's checked in for the Mavericks. And stolen by Hibbert. Doesn't get the full court heave to fall. Yeah, you're right, Clark. Some great teams those Pacers had in the 90s. Still, the team is looking for the first title, Steve, in the NBA. They have won it.
Had multiple ABA titles.
Exactly. Good point. Steve, they're trying to do it now in this one.
Well, they've been close. But but they just haven't been able to get over the hump. A little bit like the Phoenix Suns in the West. You know, two franchises that have been very, very good, but just haven't been able to win the big one.
Morrill gets to Brand. Takes it right up. Green with the rebound. Pacers leading by 4. Here's Augustine. Tries again. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
You know, Hibbert was a guy that we weren't sure if he would pan out as a center in the NBA. Had a nice career at Georgetown. But what he's done is he's developed his game year in and year out. He's gotten better every season. Good footwork, strong body, knows how to use that body to score around the basket.
Yeah, he's got excellent touch and really can use both hands with the jump hook. But what he really does well and where he's really grown the most is on defense. When you see a guy his size blocking shots and changing shots without fouling the way he does, that's a real presence inside.
And you have to give the ownership a lot of credit for the Mavs' success over the years, guys. A lot of people may not agree with things he has to say, but you can't argue with the success that he's had. He's spent his money, his resources. He's put a ton of passion and energy into building that franchise, and it's developed into one of the best in the entire league.
Out of bounds, Dallas will take possession. What an asset to a team when you've got big men who can knock down free throws. Look here at the top centers and power forwards in terms of free throw percentage this season. Dirk Nowitzki, number 1.
He's got great rhythm, great form at the foul line. And sometimes we don't see that in big guys, but he's impeccable at the line.
Well, getting to the top spot on that list has always been a goal of his, and he's worked hard to get there, developing a very repeatable stroke. And as you said, it's the kind of form you love to see in anybody, but especially a big guy.
You talk about passionate ownership on the sideline, actively involved in crafting the roster and the fan experience. You don't get much better than Dallas. From the top all the way down, it's all about winning and not afraid to push for what's best for the NBA.
And I think he wants the best for his players, too, and that's why, as a player, you've got to love, admire, and respect that. You know that he wants to win just as much as you do, and it's easy to go the extra mile and commit to a team where that's the case coming from ownership.
Brandon Wright's checked in for Dallas. Mayo comes in for Anthony Morrill. George Hill's checked in for the Pacers. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it.
It's a chance here to take a look at where the Mavericks rank in the NBA currently. 2nd in free throw percentage, 6th in three-point field goal percentage, and they are in the top 10 in team points per game.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with a lot of aspects of their game, but particularly the free throw shooting that you talked about, Clark. This is a club that gets to the line. They're focused, obviously concentrate well. And I talked to the coach earlier. He mentioned how much they practice free throws each and every day, and it's obviously paid off.
When he goes hard to the rim like that, the defender should just save their energy and let him go.
Well, he was nearly able to get there. Just a step slow.
I think he was lucky he didn't get all the way there. I mean, he may have gotten run over.
Solid job by them on the glass here tonight. +8 in rebounding.
Well, you have to rebound to win, and that's exactly what's happening right now.
He spoke loud on making a statement that play.
And that was brute force, battling for the offensive board, then taking it right back up there.
That's just all about strength and energy, guys.
Adi Bobois is checking.
Oh, get it!
I tell you what, you need to archive that one for the highlight tape.
Oh, yeah, that is a keeper. You're correct.
Man, that was incredible. Yeah, and those plays will give your team a huge boost.
And there's the 3-second violation. As we approach the playoffs, let's now take a look at what's shaping up in the West. We look at San Antonio, and of course the Indiana Pacers. They're tied right now. Some changes for Indiana. West comes in for Tyler Hansel, and it's Green in for Paul George. Mayo dishing to Bobo. Tries it from 9.
Boy, they were ready for him right there. I mean, totally collapsed the defense on him.
Goes for the alley-oop. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop. Here's Carter. The fastball ends at the rim with the jam.
I like the awareness they had there. Guys were headed out on the break the instant the steal was made.
And they got the easy bucket because of it.
Well, you think about Vince Carter in his day, just a real superstar in Toronto. He gave us maybe the greatest dunk contest performance of all time back in 2000. But those days are behind him. Still a very capable player, but not a highlight reel guy each and every night.
And the call will be against George Hill. That's his first foul. Beaubois with the ball. He's picked up by Hill. That's blocked. Johnson, the pass to West.
Boy, that was a heck of a catch on that pass, and then to lay it up and in, all in one motion.
That's about as graceful as it gets, huh?
Splendid.
And I like that he just went with the simple layup instead of trying to do anything too fancy. He just got the job done.
Beaubois against Johnson. Beaubois, that's good. Beaubois has got his third basket of the night right there.
You know, guys, and you've seen it over the years, one thing about it with the aging former stars like Vince Carter, you got to try to watch how they operate. Every so often, when the knees are feeling good, they're capable of those throwback performances, but they're not quite as often seen with that type of explosiveness.
Hill kicks to Johnson, and he bangs it home with one hand.
You know, the dunk was great, but I didn't care for that interior defense there, guys. It was non-existent.
You're right, Clark. You know, it was way too easy. I don't think the coaches need to look at that face.
It doesn't get much easier than that. They have got to tighten up their defense. That was embarrassing.
Nice little lead they're enjoying here, and they deserve it with all the work they put in on the glass.
Got a big margin for them in the rebounding department. They've completely dominated the boards here. That's where you like to get shots, inside and close to the hoop.
And so we wrap up the first half. It's the Pacers up 8.
Mavericks 29. The Pacers 37.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment.
Been a very solid outing for George. 10 points, and he's been credited with the steal today as well.
Well, I'm sure he's happy to have a defensive contribution that he can point to in the box score.
So with Nowitzki sitting on the bench, here's who Rick Carlisle's going with. Beaubois out there with Mayo. Then there's Chris Kaman. Then it's Elton Brand, and it's Crowder in at the 3 slot. And the Mavericks making a change here. Collison's out there. And the Pacers also making a change. Paul George, he's checked in for Green.
Well, it's interesting. Indiana is known for being a hotbed of basketball. And in recent years, the Pacers have not drawn well, in large part because I didn't think their teams were very likable. But that's changed. The current Pacer group is a hard-working, unselfish team. And I think they're fun to watch.
Pacers leading by 7. George with the ball. Now Mayo defending. Stevenson kicks it to West. Finds himself wide open and drills it. West has got 6.
He got that one, but he hasn't been producing the way we're accustomed to. He needs to look for a shot a bit more.
The unselfishness you mentioned, Steve, with this Pacers group, they really play team basketball, and they look out for each other.
And, Kevin, a big part of it is they don't really have a superstar that they're built around. They are just a good collection of good to outstanding players, and they're all willing to defer in order to get the win.
That's a great call.
Yep. And for a point guard, you love LUV. That finish. Wow.
Yeah, he's really been able to get off his feet and sky. Something to watch.
Incredible athleticism, both laterally and vertically.
Backcourt violation. Roy Hibbert's checked in for Ian Mahoney. And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Elton Brand. Collison kicks to Mayo. Can't get it to go. So Indiana will take it the other way. Their biggest lead of the game was 9.
Now still a great start to the half. They're hitting their first 3 even before that miss.
For 3.
Good start for this offense. They're shooting 3 of 4 now from the field, so offense in a good groove.
Collison dishes to Nowitzki. Pass to Crowder. Back to Nowitzki. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Nowitzki's got his second basket of the night.
Yeah, we're now starting to see them get some high percentage shots in the paint.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 buckets inside the lane, so they're getting really high percentage looks down there.
Well, I don't know how many of you knew this, but George Hill is playing for his hometown Pacers. Hill is an Indianapolis native. Played college ball just a few miles away from where he plays now.
He has a built-in following.
Yep.
Eldon Brand's checked in for the Mavericks. Tyler Hansbrough's checked in for the Pacers.
I'm not sure what he was thinking about there. That's a strange foul.
Who knows? Maybe he just wanted to take a break for a minute.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Carter's checked in. The Pacers also with a sub. Green's checked in. And Clark, when the Pacers traded to get Hill from San Antonio, I'm sure that hometown connection, like I was just saying, played a role.
Yes, it did.
Steve, I think that makes it a little more comfortable when you go to a new team.
Yeah, I think so. And also the Pacers were looking for players who could connect with the fans in their community. So George Hill already had that connection. So really a nice fit. And I think that's a trade that worked out well for both teams. Kawhi Leonard going to the Spurs and Hill with the Pacers.
Hibbert gets the bucket.
Points in the paint have been the main course, or main entree, if you will. They just keep pounding it inside.
They're seeing no resistance defensively in the paint area, so the defense has got to be tougher.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Lights checked in. Mayo, the pass to Carter. Gets it to go. Carter's got his second bucket.
That's 4 of their last 5 buckets now coming in the paint area.
They're in attack mode right now, barreling in there with bad man intention.
Hansborough, that's good. Mavericks trailed by 7.
Seeing the Mavs in the playoffs is something that is almost a given at this point. I mean, they've made it each season since 2001.
Collison against Hill. Gives him the lead pass. And it's Hibbert missing. The Mavericks have gone 6 of 9 from the floor here in the second half. They've got to be happy with that.
Call it game time and bang time.
Unbelievable.
You got to just shake your head on that one.
Here's Hill. Shot is blocked. And that'll be Indiana as it goes out of bounds. Pacers retain possession. 1:35 left here in the third quarter. They get it back.
You know, once he corralled that rebound, he was in just the right spot to power it back down.
You can see it coming too.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that was going to be a simple little putback. He saw the angle and he gave it a little something extra.
Here's Collison. Back to Carter. To the middle. White stuffs it through.
He's short for the center position, but he makes up for it with tremendous leaping ability.
Pacers leading by 5. Stevenson kicks to Hansbrough. He feeds it to Hibbert. Gets it to go. Hibbert's got 10 points.
I can imagine they're going to hear an earful about this next stop. I mean, that's 3 straight field goals given up right in the middle of the lane. Inexcusable.
Defense starts at the rim. You want to shoot the ball from the outside, and that's not happening. They're just giving up everything inside.
The Mavericks have shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4.
Really, guys, it's just come together for them at the charity stripe this season. I mean, the confidence is there, and so too are the results.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Morrow comes in for O.J. Mayo. And it's Bobo in for Darren Collison. Mahini's check in for the Pacers. Augustine comes in for George Hill.
I'll tell you what, wandering aimlessly out of bounds like that might earn him a ticket to the bench.
Crowder, he's checked in for Dallas. Morrow dishes to Bobo. And he slams it in one-handed.
You see more and more point guards with that kind of of impressive dunking ability, don't we?
Absolutely. We're seeing more and more of that kind of explosiveness. In fact, the point guard now has never been as prominent and as important, I think, in the game than it is right now.
Some of that is the rule changes, guys. No hand checks. The floor is more spread. But, yeah, this new breed of athletic point guard is so exciting.
Here comes DJ Augustine. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Green. 1 second left. No good trying to beat the buzzer. And we've reached the end of the third.
Your Mavericks.
Indiana leading. Next up on the docket, the Bucks following this one. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. And a look at the 5 for the Pacers to start the fourth quarter. We've got Lance Stevenson. Green is out there at Tyler Hansbrough. And there's Ian Mahina. And it's Augustine in at the 1 spot. Mark and Steve, neither team with a big advantage here in the fourth quarter.
5 times we've had the lead switch so far. I mean, back and forth we go.
And I think that total could rise, Clark, because two evenly matched teams playing a tough game.
And Green gets it to go.
They are in attack mode right now. That's 10 straight points, guys, all coming inside the paint.
And, Steve, if I'm them, I'd keep going right to the heart of that defense like they have been until they do something about it. If they don't offer resistance, take everything you can get in here.
Well, Dirk is just so good at the offensive end of the floor, Kevin. The ability to shoot over the top of people. He's added so many things to his game, too. Post-ups, getting to the rim, being aggressive, and going to the foul line. Dirk Nowitzki, a first-ballot Hall of Famer, no question.
Most definitely, Steve. This guy has been phenomenal throughout his career, and very few situations bother him. He's clutch as a scorer, and he's more clutch because he's an excellent free throw shooter, too.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. David West is checked in for Hansbrough, and it's George in for Green. But they get it back. The drive by Nowitzki. Right. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Nowitzki. Nowitzki's got his 4th assist in this one. Elton Brand's checked in for Dallas. Mayo comes in for Anthony Morrow.
You know, the Pacers had that 4 or 5 year stretch where things went south after that brawl in the Palace. But if you look at their team now, the last couple of years, they've really built a strong young core. And it's paid off. They're becoming one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference.
On the Mavericks with some changes. Vince Carter, he's checked in for Crowder. And Anthony Morrow subbed in for Roddy Bobo. And the basket by Morrow.
Boy, what a half from the field they're having. They're going to extend that lead if they stay this high.
Now they've taken it up another notch, Clark, looking very confident out there.
And the Pacers call time here. And Steve, you're right about Clark. If you're a Pacer fan, you have to like the direction this team is heading. A lot of talent, Clark, in a lot of spots.
Well, keeping all that talent would be a concern at some point, but right now they are young and have depth, so you can't ask for much more if you're a fan of the team. A lot of promise looking ahead.
Comes in for Brandon Wright, and it's Collison in for Anthony Morrow. The Pacers also changing it up. Roy Hibbert's checked in for Mahina. Johnson comes in for Lance Stevenson, and George Hills subbed in for Augustine. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Kevin, the head coach for the Pacers had some instruction for his guys during that break. He told them to stick with what's worked to this point, saying, listen, they're giving us all the space we need inside. Let's take advantage of it. Keep working the ball inside the paint.
Hill passes to Johnson to stop the run. Hibbert kicks to George. Takes it into the teeth of the knee and converts the layup.
You know, with the way they've dominated the glass so far, a little surprised it's still a close game.
Yeah, you've got to take advantage. I mean, you're getting extra possessions, but you're not knocking down shots.
Brandon Wright's checked in for Chris Kamen. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the...
Showing some real sweet dunking skills here.
Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. What a play.
Yeah, that was spectacular.
Inside to Hibbert. And the layup falls.
Something has to change, guys. That's 10 straight points coming in the paint against this team.
Well, they got to collapse in there, and everybody's got to be conscious of it. It's a team effort in protecting the paint. Control the ball, and then everybody's got to get in there and keep the defense locked down.
Hill dishes to West. And the shot is good.
Just an unbelievable display of offense here today.
Well, it seems like every shot that goes up finds its way to the hoop. I mean, every player is sharp and on target.
West no good on the free throw. Here's Mayo. It's down. The breakaway slam. Pacers trail by 6. Out of bounds. Dallas takes possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far.
Green is checked in for Indiana. Darren, here's Collison. And it's Dallas with another.
Boy, he's been so dependable here this game. Really playing well offensively.
Indiana again. Listen. And the foul goes on Roy Hibbert. That is his first foul of the game. Johnson against Mayo. It's Mayo on the way. Uncovered. And another basket for him.
That jump shot's like a layup for him when the defense backs off like that.
Inside Green. Lets it go from deep. And that one's good.
I got to give them credit, guys. They are shooting their way back into the game 3 points at a time.
And you just had that feeling, Steve, that they'd get hot at some point from deep. And here it is.
Carter kicks to right. He's against Hibbert. Here's Brand. The kick out to Mayo. He dishes it to Collison. Collison off the pick from right. Second shot opportunity. Nice jump shot. Good. 16 points for Collison. Johnson kicks to Hill. Green. Jacks up a 3. Rebounded by Collison. Collison's got his third rebound on the night. Carter drives in. Dishes it to Brand. Mayo. He passes it to Collison. Mayo with a screen on Hill. Just 5 to shoot. Collison the pass to Carter. Over Green. Back to Collison. Outside Mayo. Right side Mayo. Here's Wright. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. So the first one drops, and that'll push the lead to double digits. Crowder, he's checked in for Dallas. Tyler Hansbrough is checked in for the Pacers.
Yeah, big-time free throws there. You can put this one in the books.
We've got 33 seconds left in the game. Out of bounds, Dallas will take possession. And the Mavericks making a change here. James is checked in. And a change for the Pacers. Stevenson's checked in. Here's Crowder. That ball's great assist by Darren Collison. And the Mavericks lead by 13. Timeout called the Pacers. They're down by 13. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, what's your take?
Well, this one's out of reach, so I'm not sure why they're calling the timeout here. Maybe just to try to work on something, maybe an out-of-bounds play or something.
Well, they might as well talk about what movies they want to see or what they want to surf on the internet, because this one's done, boy.
And some changes here for the Pacers. Mahini's checked in for Hibbert. And it's George in for Green. The Pacers have gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field. The open shot, George. Crowder pulls it in.
Nobody anywhere close to him. Where's the defense? He's got to make that shot, though.
Collison.
Defensive foul.
The first one falls for him. And so he's able to get 1 of 2. Out of bounds, Dallas will take possession.
Not a good idea throwing the ball down the court that far.
Here's Mayo. It's off. So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. Some days, Mark, everything goes right for a team, and this is one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
And that about wraps it up for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And now, Jordan presents our player of the game, Darren Collison.